Featured 90 like 10 years ago.
Dan the Man?
What's wrong?
Yeah.
There's no music.
It's 9 o'clock because it's 9 o'clock. It's time for the show to start.
No,
Of
it's
course,
doing,
but
but
it's
no
right, the
music
music's
to
not
it.
coming
We
on. I
should
don't know
be
what's
hearing
happening.
Oh,
I wonder if people can hear us right now. They can,
they can.
because we're on right now. Oh, that's hilarious, man.
Goodness.
That's what happens when you take a week off.
So
Yes,
it's
we
funny
see.
because he
Yeah.
probably heard us ask what Blue Thunder
Exactly.
is when that happened. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, what happened to the music?
Who knows? But that was great.
You know, Primo's gonna joke on you.
It wasn't my fault.
I know,
You know
but
what
he's
I'm saying?
gonna play you, baby.
Every so often
You
we
know
need a
he's
little
gonna
blooper
say-
here and there. You know what I'm saying?
He's gonna say something.
Oh, man, that's so funny. Well, that's good.
Oh my goodness.
What's up, y'all?
Hey guys.
So it has been a full week since, let's see,
You want
2
to beat
weeks?
that?
Has it been 2 weeks since the last time we were on it? Because we missed last week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess. Is that how you say it? It's been
I
2
think so.
weeks.
It has been 2 weeks since the last
Horace
week.
said pressing buttons.
Horace, that wasn't
He was
me.
not
I wasn't
pressing
pressing buttons.
I will say
You know what I'm saying?
he did not press any buttons.
That whole situation
But
was
you
automated.
did press buttons probably prior.
No, it was not me.
to-
That was not me.
Okay.
What's up, y'all? Okay, so first of all, we were not here last week because this is graduation season. A bunch of stuff was going on. I actually had an anointing last week, and April had a go away, a farewell for her principal.
Yes.
And so you were out all night. In fact, I just assumed we wouldn't be able to start the show in time because you wouldn't be back for the start of the show. But you would have missed the whole show. You came
Yeah.
home at like 10.
I did. I came home at like 10.
Yeah. So you were out
So-
partying hardy last week.
He's talking about. Listen, look. Why are you losing your top fan
I don't know,
status?
but
I don't
apparently see people saying
understand.
their top fan status is gone.
We need to
You know what I'm
discuss
saying?
this.
1 week.
Okay.
1 week.
He's
Last
upset
thing
at
was
everything.
OG couple fire, right? Exactly. That was the
Listen,
only
John
thing. Yeah.
doesn't want to admit that the real reason why we were not on was because we had to watch the Hawks beat the Knicks. First of all, the last time we were on here, John said the Hawks weren't even in the playoffs.
Was that
Do
the last?
you remember that?
I remember saying that, but I don't
Do you
think that was the
remember
last
saying that?
time. Was it?
I think so.
It was prior to that. It was like on one of our shows. I think it was
Okay.
when we subbed for Lance for the radio
that's
show.
right. The point is, you said they weren't even in the playoffs. No, that was during the live, babe.
Was it?
Yes.
Either
So
way.
what do you have to say now?
So first, I was wrong about that.
Thank you.
Um,
That's number one.
I was also wrong that the Knicks would win more than one game. We basically got gentlemen swept.
Yes, you did.
Okay.
Yes, you did. And
And number 3,
Okay.
Trey, what's his face?
yeah, Trey is
a beast.
he's the bomb,
The dude is a
and I love him now.
He's a beast.
Yes.
He has. He calls himself Ice something. He goes like this when he hits a bunch
yeah.
of threes, and he has ice water in his veins. You know.
Okay,
what I'm saying?
but I want you to tell everyone. I want you to tell the Chimes what you wore last night to bed. What did you put on with pride?
Why would you tell anybody that?
What do you mean? What did you put on with pride last night?
I go to sleep naked. So
John.
so I wore my birthday suit. I don't know why she wants me to tell you that.
Okay,
but
what did you put on?
I had on my Hawks. I had a
Thank
Hawks
you.
t-shirt on.
And you had all those t-shirts to choose from, and you dug deep down into the drawer to find that shirt because you are a Hawks fan. Look at Horace.
April's been wearing a Hawks. April's been wearing a Hawks t-shirt to bed every night
Every
since
night.
they won.
Yes, I have several, and I'm going to do that until they, win the finals.
Thank you, Michael. It's Ice Tray.
Ice Tray, that's right, Ice Tray.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cute.
So he'll hit a bunch of
That's
threes and he'll
right.
start going like this, like, you know what I'm saying? And honestly,
Right.
I was mad at him when he was doing it to the Knicks, but now I don't have a problem with it at all because, you know what I'm saying? Akua's here. What up, Akua?
Hey, Akua.
No,
Married at First Sight?
tonight, so she could join us.
Listen, we need to talk Akua. I just binged, okay? Actually, I'm on the last episode.
She's on the last episode of season 10 of
Yes,
Married at
I
First
think
Sight.
it's season 10. Whatever season it is where they're in D.C. I think that's the latest
And
season.
let me be honest with you.
Don't even lie.
We have a lot to talk about.
Okay.
We're not gonna do it tonight, but
Okay.
now that we watch, I shouldn't say we, but now that April watches it and I saw some of it, of Married at First Sight, we have a lot to talk about because that joint is crazy.
It is crazy.
know what I'm
We
saying?
do have a lot to say. John's been watching here and there.
Boy said I think John wore the t-shirt to comfort April after the Hawks lost last night. Maybe.
Listen, all I care about is the fact they beat the Knicks. So, I mean, I
She-
do want them to win.
She'd be okay if they
But-
lost now, but she wants them to win.
I do
You know
want
what I'm
them to
saying?
win. And yes,
Pre-
Akua, it is a mess. It is.
Cynthia saying that your team sucks too, Primo. So your Philly sucks.
Exactly. So just need to be quiet. Not gonna lie, I thought the Hawks weren't in the playoffs anymore. My bad.
So he didn't think so either. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, that's what I'm
Don't
talking
do
about.
the Hawks like that, okay?
Of course, it's a mess.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? We
I
know.
know.
We've been watching. We know. Why couldn't the Knicks send a goon out and punch Ice Tray in the mouth? That was the '90s Knicks. It's exactly what it done. We need Xavier McDaniel or Anthony Mason to come out there and punch dude in the mouth. You know what I'm saying? It's like 90 Day Fiance.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's basically what it
Exactly.
is. You're right.
Right.
That's true. Isn't it 2 weeks? 2 months? It's like
2 months.
It's like 2 months
eight
they do
weeks
that.
or something like that.
Pretty much talking about Cynthia needs to stop it. All right, so tonight's episode is brought to us by a fitting, I would say, sponsor. Our sponsor tonight is Virtual VP. So Virtual VP is a service where they basically are able to take all of the stuff that a vice principal might do, and most of our smaller schools don't have the money to really even have that kind of level of administration. Virtual VP will come in and they will actually do a lot of that stuff for you.
But
And
I would actually say even schools that have vice principals,
right,
or public schools or whatever, could use this, because sometimes they don't really know how to use their vice principal effectively.
True.
And so I feel like this would be a great resource to be able to train your vice principals.
That's true.
In a way that they need to be trained.
That's true. So you can go to virtualviceprincipal.com to find out more information. You can go to @thevirtualVP at Facebook or Instagram to follow. And we'll be hearing from someone tonight who'll give us a little bit more information about something that's going to be happening soon. We know the owner of Virtual VP very well, and we'll hear from them soon. So anyway, the reason why that is an important sponsor is because of our subject matter for tonight. We're talking about helicopter parents.
Helicopter parents.
Was it at the end of? I think it was the end of last episode that we did with the OGs, my parents who were on. We asked at the end of the episode, what are some things you would like us to cover? What are some things we should talk about in the coming episodes?
We asked the chimes. We asked you guys.
And you guys, one of the things you said was parenting. I know we have a lot of soon-to-be parents who chime in. We have a lot of new parents. And some of us have been around for a little while who still want,
And some just work with kids and they can relate. And so you can put in just your thoughts about this particular topic. But before we do that, we want you to share right now. Go ahead and share. Hey, Brittany.
Let people know that
Go ahead and share
that we're
this,
on, and
live.
this subject matter is a good one.
Yes.
What's up, G?
Hey, Ase. Ase. Oh, it's Ase.
Yeah, Ase's on here too.
I just read it like.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You did.
I do know your name. My bad.
Cynthia talking about she's a Philly girl. She just can't stand the teams. Wow. I didn't think she would actually, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
What's up, Woo? Good to see you,
Woo.
man. Glad you're here. And Jocelyn just shared it. So share this, seriously. This is the kind of conversation that I think you want your people to know. So it turns out that in our family, we have a lot of teachers. I'm not sure how that happened, but we have a bunch of them. And so we thought that we would just have this conversation with some of our family members.
Brian is hilarious. He's talking about I must be a submarine parent because I only see my kid at nighttime prayer and story time. Submarine. That is so funny.
I don't know if you want to,
Thank you, Tony. Hey.
Glad you shared that joint. You know what I'm saying? It needs to be. I don't understand why you would admit that you're a submarine parent.
He is not a submarine parent.
All right, so we have a segment that we like to do that we're bringing on tonight. It's our Sipping with the Sibs segment, and
Sipping with the Sibs.
That's what's happening now.
That's right. Why do you do that?
Who's that singing along? Is that Kim?
I don't know.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know.
Hi guys.
Oh, it's Claire.
Claire, you thought we were muted?
I didn't see my face yet, so I thought I was.
Hold on, guys.
They might have heard us. I'm not sure.
You gotta get your dance on.
You guys are idiots. Look at Paul doing the robot.
Is that what that is?
I think so. Oh, what a schmo. Okay, guys. So basically, the reason why we have you on here, and the reason why we thought it was good to talk to this particular group.
Before you start.
Go ahead.
Before you start, we're gonna introduce everybody.
Okay, yeah, that's a good idea because there are people here that don't know who these people
Yes,
are.
but
That's
first,
true.
you have to say what's in your cup. Okay, so go ahead and say what's in your cup.
Whoa. We'll start.
So we'll
start
introduce
with Paul.
you, and then say what's in your cup, and
Actually, let's let Paul go last because then he can talk about
Exactly.
his thing that he was talking about earlier.
Okay, so go ahead, Kim.
Yeah.
Tell us what's in your cup, and tell us why you are perfect for this episode. Kim, you're
we
on.
can't hear you. I don't know why. You're not. Oh, it says
you
guest has
muted?
muted themselves. You muted
muted
yourself,
yourself.
Kim. Let me see if I can unmute her.
Nina, come help her.
She's perfect for the episode, but not for the internet.
Where is
And-
Nina?
and for
here
all-
it is. I know where you can do it. Here we
Where?
go. I got you.
No, that
Oh
didn't.
no, it didn't do it. Guess you muted yourself,
Kim,
so you
yeah.
need to unmute. So we'll
Kim,
move to Claire.
there's a
We'll come
button
back.
next to your picture by itself. There's a button next to it. It says
Kim,
mute.
look
Just
at
press
your
that.
picture. That's right. No.
There's nothing there. You don't have a picture.
Wow. So let's everybody
You have a
guess
picture.
who's the
No,
oldest.
don't do that to her. I
Who's
wasn't
the
gonna
oldest? Who's the oldest person on the screen right now?
Kim, don't let him do that to you. Come on, Nina, come help your mama. She said you're wrong for that.
Get Nina. Where is she? She can't help.
Kim, just turn up your volume. Just turn up your volume.
Your volume. What's that
Why
going
would that
to
do
do?
Yes,
anything?
because you know sometimes you press you go to the volume and turn it up and you see you had it all the way down or you muted it.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
That's the speakers, not the microphone, isn't it?
Oh, that's true.
I'm
Now
the
let me
youngest
see,
here.
Kim. What if we get you off and you come back in?
No, do not do
Uh-oh.
that.
We about to try it. So
Never
call
see
back
Kim
in.
again.
Call back in right now.
Bye, Kim.
All right.
Now we're
All right, go ahead,
now we're
Claire.
seeing half of April's face.
Why am I perfect for this episode was the question?
Well,
Well,
who are you first?
Go ahead and introduce
So
yourself. and then,
I'm Claire, John's
okay.
younger sister and Paul's, and April's. I don't have helicopter parents, but I have children who.
Okay, Kim, we can hear her now. Sorry. Okay, sorry. Say it again, Claire. Say it again, Claire.
I don't have helicopter parents. I teach college level, but I have
Okay.
children who have been raised by helicopter parents.
Okay.
All right, that's good.
And what are you drinking?
Peach flavored beverage.
Oh my goodness. Wu said the Fresh Prince of Claire.
It's really the Fresh Prince of Color.
Color.
But you know, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right, Kim. So what about you? Now that we
Okay.
can hear you.
So, yes, I have come in contact with lots of helicopter parents because I teach second grade. I can't stand them.
Okay, don't get into that yet.
Hold on, you can't stand your
okay.
second
Graders or the
or the
parents?
parents?
No, I love both. I love
Both.
I hate
Okay, all right.
Yeah, but, I am
But you have
drinking,
taught K through
tea.
5. You've taught K through 5.
I have taught K through 5. Yes. Yes.
And what is your
And have-
beverage?
My beverage is sweet tea with fresh picked out of the garden
Nice.
mint,
Wow.
Nice.
Yummy.
and it is delicious.
Sounds like it's good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Paul. What about you?
By mint, do you mean weed? No. Is that not?
Not this time.
Who's putting
I
weed
know.
in their tea? My goodness.
I
Somebody.
know Demon's been home for a
I'm
while,
about
so I
to
don't know what's happening. My name is Paul Nixon. I am John's younger brother and April's and Kim's and Claire's older brother. I am a college professor, and I have experience in K-12 as well at teaching and administrating, and I am the founder and CEO of Virtual VP, who's sponsoring.
Mhm. Okay.
All right. Can you tell us a little bit about Virtual VP quickly and what you have coming up?
Well, actually, we want to know what's in your Pilsner there.
And I'm hearing some background noise from someone.
I think that's
Definitely
Kim. Again.
100% Kim.
Hey, Aunt Mo.
Struggling over there tonight, huh, Kim?
Struggling.
It's so dark.
And Paul, some people are asking for shirts, Virtual VP shirts. So, you know.
Virtual VP shirts. Check out the website.
Okay.
Although there's no link to merch on there, but there will be. So check out the
Okay.
website in like a week and get you a shirt. I'm drinking mineral water. This is my new jam.
Right.
It's just mineral water. Or it's a beverage in mineral water glass.
Nice.
Okay.
Definitely one of those two. So we have an event coming up on July the 13th. It's going to be at 6 p.m. Central, and it's going to be a free event. And basically, what we're trying to do is just kind of help teachers and administrators sort of understand some ways they can operate more effectively and more efficiently, especially in this new sort of online hybrid format that we have going on. I personally don't believe we're going to go back to 100% in person in any case. I think there's going to be families and teachers and students even that say, I want to stay home. And as a sis year showed us, that a lot of us don't really know how to do that very well. We know the content, but we don't necessarily know the technology, right? And then not everybody has resources to have dedicated tech support people. You know, a lot of times tech support in school will be 1 or 2 people, but there's 15 or 20 teachers, right? So there's not really a division of labor there. So, you know, some free, the event is free tips, free help for people just to understand how to perhaps do a little bit better job moving forward. And we just want to help. We're just trying to help.
Tell us what you say the date was again. June what?
July 13th.
Oh, my bad. July 13th. So that's a Tuesday.
July 13th. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, Tuesday.
So we'll get more information between now and then.
Yes. Keep up with the website. Keep up with my Facebook page, our Facebook page, and we'll be putting information on there. There'll be opportunities to sign up. It's a free event, but you still got to sign up because spaces are limited. Excuse me.
Great.
Because we're giving out free information, but we can't get to everybody. We got to give it to people that are selected.
Sounds good.
By themselves. Yeah. So.
All right. Awesome.
We're excited about that. It's gonna be nice.
It is. Okay. So people are talking about how you and Paul sound alike.
Yeah, I know. All
right. So let's get into the topic.
So we're talking about helicopter parents.
Yes. So what I'm gonna do, babe.
You gonna read something?
I'm gonna read what a helicopter parent is.
That's a good idea.
Okay. And then I'm going to read what are 4 common triggers to show that you are a helicopter parent. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So here we go. That's right. So you can know. So
bring it over here so
Okay.
your mic, you can be under the mic good. All right, go ahead.
Okay, here we go. It says, and this is from parents.com.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it says, what is a helicopter parent? Helicopter parenting most often applies to parents who help high school or college age students with tasks they're capable of doing alone. For instance, and Paul and Claire, you can definitely attest to this, calling a professor about poor grades. Arranging a class schedule, managing exercising habits. But really, helicopter parenting can apply at any age. In toddlerhood, a helicopter parent might constantly shadow the child, always playing with and directing his behavior, allowing him zero alone time. Okay. In elementary school, helicopter parents may ensure a child gets a certain teacher or coach. I have seen that often. Select the child's friends and activities. I have seen that as well. Or providing disproportionate help for homework and school projects. Okay, we will talk about that as well. Okay.
What's in your cup, by the way? You're not drinking anything.
Oh, I didn't tell you what was in my cup. I
just have water in this dope North Carolina UNC cup. You know
John didn't want anything good. He just wanted water. But I have peach lavender tea.
Ooh,
but nothing fresh. Like, you ain't got nothing picked from no
nothing
garden.
I went and picked my own lavender.
Out of the
And let it marinate overnight. All right. So then it says here.
These are the 4 triggers.
Why do parents hover? Okay, so here are the common triggers. Fear of dire consequences. We know that is true. Parents do not want their children to suffer any consequences.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
That's
feelings
different.
of
Hold on. Dire consequences
yeah.
different from any consequences.
Right.
That is true, but it says parents might fear a low grade, rejection from the sports team, botched job interview, especially if they feel they could have done more to help. Okay. Many of the consequences are trying to prevent unhappiness, struggle, not excelling, working hard, no guaranteed results, are great teachers for kids and not actually life-threatening. It just feels that way. And we know that some parents do not want their children to feel any type of unhappiness. Okay. All right. Feelings of anxiety. Worries about the economy, the job market, and the world in general can push parents to take more control over the child's life and attempt to protect them. All right. Then we have overcompensation. Adults who felt unloved, neglected, or ignored. And we've heard this before. I don't want my child to go through what I went through when I was a kid, or I didn't have anything, so then they give their child everything they want. Okay. So that's overcompensation. And then you have peer pressure from other parents. Y'all know this is a big one. Okay. When moms and dads see other over-involved parents, it can trigger a similar response. Okay. Sometimes when we observe other parents over-parenting or being helicopter parents, it will pressure us to do the same. All right. So.
All right.
Now it talks about the effects too, but we can talk about that. I'll talk about the effects maybe after or during or whatever.
Yes.
So let's just talk about this.
So there's a couple things I want to start with. The first thing is we have, I think, a working definition of what we feel being a helicopter parent is. It sounds like a parent that's just overly protective, and I think the visual you're supposed to get is a parent who's constantly hovering over their child, and this can happen at any age. So it looks one way when they're toddlers and looks a different way when they're basically high school or college age. This happens a lot. So the first thing is, does anybody on the screen right now agree that it's okay to be a helicopter parent? It's really not that big of a deal. Or
do you feel like if you are, it's your, if you choose to be a helicopter parent, that's okay.
That's fine as long as your kid isn't in my class.
Fine. Right. Fine, as long as they're not
It's
in my
annoying for me. It makes my job harder. So
I think it's damaging to the child. So I would say no, it's not. That's not, good parenting.
okay,
I'm not in a
you don't think it's ever a
I'm
good
not in a position
idea?
to evaluate someone else's parenting, but I'm evaluating other people's parenting right now. So yeah, it's a terrible idea.
Right. What were you saying, Kim?
No, I was agreeing with Claire. As long as they're not in my class, I don't care what you do with your kids.
right, exactly.
Yeah, some people say it sounds stressful. Parents may be trying to be the child's friend instead of insisting that they're their parent. That could be something too.
Sounds overbearing. Okay.
Yeah, sounds overbearing to me. Yeah, OCD parenting.
What up, Clemo?
Brian said being a submarine parent doesn't look too bad now, does it? Kid can swim, he'll be fine.
Exactly.
Okay, so clearly we don't think. I thought this was plugged in all this time.
Oh my goodness.
Clearly we don't think it's a good idea to be a helicopter parent. But I guess what I want to know is ways in which you guys have seen this play out in your experience as a teacher.
Right.
Tell us the kind of experiences that you have had as teachers with maybe one or two, maybe your best one that you have had with a person who was a parent that was a helicopter parent. What did it look like?
I want some of whatever Odari is making.
I was getting ready to say.
Yeah.
It is so loud over here. I am so sorry.
Who is cooking, Kim? Who is cooking?
Is that April? Or
April
is that little April?
That's little April cooking.
It's little April.
What's she making? Rabbit.
That wow, like
those noodles don't have a chance.
I thought that was macaroni and cheese or something.
It's a cake. It's
lasagna.
Right.
I thought
it had to be something way bigger than ramen.
by hand.
This is what happens when we go live, okay? All right.
Oh.
Everybody's like, hey, let me do everything.
Everybody wants to be in the room.
Helicopter
Everybody wants to be
dads
there.
around and
Helicopter dads.
I've already said, I know helicopter dad.
Oh, Sheldon talking about someone is chefing the mess out of that kitchen. Oh my goodness.
Hey, somebody said these parents are the ones they call out every 5 minutes from work. They're stressful for employers too.
Wow, really?
So he's saying even employers don't like
Okay.
helicopter parents because they always constantly checking on the kids at school and stuff like that.
Wow, Courtney said she didn't even realize there was a name for them.
So
some of my parents
Pathfinders
and
and
Pathfinders were helicopter parents, and I felt they didn't give the room to problem solve.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
All right, Claire, go ahead.
Yes.
Go
The
ahead.
one I was going to say, my biggest pet peeve about this is that my students can't problem solve even the tiniest thing. So,
Wow.
so I'm trying to think of something really simple. And the reason why I'm having a hard time thinking of what examples because there's so many all the time. But it's really
Did you
hard
have one
to pick
today?
one. So let me do a student is sitting at a desk that's not by an outlet, and he has a computer and the battery dies. They just sit there for the rest of the class, not taking notes or anything. They don't get paper to take notes.
Claire,
They don't
please
move
tell
to
me you're
plug their
telling a lie.
their
No.
computer in. They don't do anything. They just sit, and then after class, they may come and ask me a question about something that we discussed for 45 minutes, and I'll say, I noticed at some point you stopped taking notes. What happened? It was like, oh, well, my computer died. So I was like, what's the rest? Yeah.
Yeah, right, exactly. What happened after that?
And that's, well, my computer died. So I just stopped. I was like, well, what about this and this and this? And it's like, oh, yeah, that's true. And I'm just like, and now that information is gone. Like, once the information is gone, it's gone. And you can't rely on somebody else's notes, even somebody else that takes good notes, because somebody else is taking notes in their own voice and not your voice. So it's not going to work for you. So for me, the biggest pet peeve I have is that a lot of students, and not all students, but a lot of students just can't problem solve. They can't figure out a simple issue. Or if they do figure out a simple issue, it's such a big disruption that they lose. Kim.
we can't even talk, Kim.
I'm just gonna wait till everybody's done.
It's like when the kids see you on the phone, they be like, "Mommy, can I?"
Yeah. Can you go to the other room, please?
Nothing to you until you're doing something.
Exactly. Yes, Eric.
Anyway,
I know
so
the
that-
Hawks
so that's
lost last
mine.
night. I did know that. it's
Mine
okay.
is not being able to
Just name
problem
one.
solve. Students are helicopter. I believe helicopter parents take what do you call it when you stunt their child's growth
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
by being helicopter parents.
yeah.
Intellectually.
So I'm,
Intellectually,
yeah.
I'm gonna
But they're-
say
they're-
that
yeah.
I'm gonna say that I agree with you there because teaching middle school, I thought going from 3rd and 4th grade to middle school. Well, I moved from 3rd and 4th to 5th and 6th, and then from 5th to 8th, whatever. But I really thought that moving from 3rd to middle school, I would be able to see, some huge growth as far as problem solving, like you said. And, for some students, they really don't know what to do in certain situations that seem very simple because their parents have always done it for them,
Right.
And I do think that it hinders them from being able to, what's she doing now? I didn't know it took that long to make ramen.
If you make it
she's
right,
making
girl, you've
it a
been doing it
different kind
wrong.
of way.
Exactly. You've been doing it wrong, Alicia.
She
Clearly.
must be doing it with the egg, the garlic, and,
Exactly.
and the brown sugar and
Yeah.
soy sauce. She must be making
Chopping up bok choy and mincing
Yeah,
it,
exactly. Dr. Exactly.
boiling her own
That's
eggs.
ramen right there. I want that.
Oh my
Well, April,
goodness.
come over to my house and make me some ramen. I want that.
Bok choy.
Bok choy.
Oh my goodness, man.
Anyway.
Is she bringing a
So-
Korean family to help her with it? 'Cause that's the way that's really good. To get a Korean mother to come in there and show you how to do it.
That's hilarious, man.
Right.
So then what have you dealt with, Paul?
Wait, I have to stop.
Why?
Primo said what makes this episode is Kim's facial expression.
I cannot hide anything. Seriously, I cannot.
We waiting for that every
Oh my
time.
goodness.
What about you, Paul? Any crazy stories that you've had with your college students? Or I guess you
so many.
dealt with high school a lot too.
Listen,
so
let's
maybe
just
give
go
us
from
everything.
story to story that just shows. Okay, let's just go from story to story. Seriously, we are all teachers.
there's-
Even you are a teacher now, and you're experiencing what
Right.
we've been experiencing for years.
Mhm.
So go ahead,
Oh,
Paul.
John
Just
has a
had
good one.
something happen to me today.
Yeah. Yeah, just want to from
Go ahead,
today.
Paul.
So, well, I
Yes,
want to tell
I
too.
just
So
had
I'm
something
gonna
happen
do
to
one
me today.
running.
But go ahead.
Wow. So there's one when we started talking about this episode a couple of days ago. I was like, there's one story I want to tell. I'm gonna save that one for later. It's a little bit of a longer story, but very very briefly. When I was at, are we allowed to name names on here? not gonna name a person's name, but can I name a school?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay,
That's
so when I was
that's
at,
on you.
People
That's
can,
on you.
People can Google it anyway and find out. You know what I'm saying? They
That's
know,
on
they
you,
know
when
buddy.
I was at when I was teaching at Pine Forge Academy,
PFA.
which incidentally was my first career level job, right? So I was at Pine Forge, and of course it's a
We
boarding
have two
school.
Pine Forge graduates on the screen right now, so you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
Anyway, so
Don't be mad because you're not from the Forge.
Aaron Brooks on here too. She's a PFA as well.
Exactly.
Anyway, go ahead.
Anyway, there was one student in particular, and this probably happened with more than this one student. But there was one student in particular. There's a young man. He was in like 11th grade, I think it was. His mother used to come to campus and clean his room for him.
No.
Stop.
No.
How do we
Please tell me you're lying.
How do we get rid of Paul's box?
Nope.
How do we kick him off the show?
Seriously, we need to cut him off.
Come to his room.
What?
This kid, yeah, he was like
He's
he
in
was like
boarding
16,
school.
17. He's 11th grade and it's a boarding school. He's like 16, 17.
11.
And his mother used to come in and make it and clean his room and so after I found that out, every time he would challenge me in class, I had to fight to say, little, you know what I'm saying? You know, he's like,
Your mama
like,
come make up your bed.
Your mama making your bed.
Exactly.
I never, to my credit, I never said it to him. I was in my 20s at the time, so I could have said it, but
Right.
I'm not gonna call his name Bryant, but yeah, man, that's the essence of what Claire's talking about. I mean, like you literally don't have the ability to gain a skill because your parents won't let you.
Right.
Right? I mean, like, you have to give them space to do the wrong thing. You know what I mean? You have to give them space to make a mistake.
And you have to,
Especially if it's something as small as keeping your room clean. That's really, really
Exactly.
small in the grand scheme of things.
And you
gotta give them
mentioned
space,
you mentioned building a skill, and it's really building common sense. It's just common sense that students don't have
Yeah.
because everything is done for them.
Right.
Yeah.
What happened to you today, Kim?
Oh, wow. Well, so it's test week, so I have science tests I gave out today.
You're still in school?
Solar system. We're still in
Yeah,
school.
she has like a
It's not
month
out.
left.
They go like in
It's
the
June
June.
9th.
They get out like
Get out
July
until July.
2nd.
I've been out of school since April 25th. What are you
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, but y'all go back like in July. So
Right.
We go back in August. We go back in August. But y'all on summer break yet in July.
They
So,
don't
I
go
mean,
back
it's
to
easy.
after Labor Day though. They get to have Labor Day and everything.
Y'all go back after
Right.
Thanksgiving? You go to y'all still use Thanksgiving to August? Summer break is in the fall for y'all?
So anyway, this lady, and it's been like this with her this entire year, really, with the online stuff. You know, with all she has to know every little thing that's happening. Which, okay, yes, I give you enough information that you should know what's happening as a parent, you know. But this lady has to constantly text me or call me about the same information that I've already given you. Okay. And then it's because the child said, and it's always the child said, all right? Not, oh, Miss Kell, what happened with XYZ? It was the child said blah, blah, blah. And that's what it is. That's law. The child said it. Okay. Anyway.
You said second grader?
This is a second grader. So today's text from her, every time I see her name,
I hope she don't follow John and April. That's all I got to say.
I'm saying.
No, she don't follow.
Everybody
She
need
don't
to sip
follow.
on
She
that.
don't follow, but I ain't gonna say no name.
Sip on that one.
Claire. Anyway, she asked me why did her child not get the information for the bonus question on the test. I said, because it's something that we've been going over in class. Okay. So, well, I feel like if she had it in the review packet, then blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, really? Like, no, seriously, it
But it's a
bothers me
bonus.
so bad. It's a bonus. Like, if she got one or two, what are the 8 planets? What are they? You at least gonna get 1 point because we're on Earth.
Right, exactly.
Okay, so don't even worry about it. Like, it's just
Right.
little stuff like that is so annoying. But this mom is constantly, every time I see her name, she texts me on Sunday talking about, oh, I didn't see the homework packet for this week. Did you get, check your child's book bag. What was in the book bag?
Oh my
You
goodness,
know,
man.
but it's so many stories. But this
many
lady
stories.
is just on the top of my list. I can't even think of anything else because she's right there.
She
It's
sounds like
awful.
she was parented by a helicopter parent too.
Mm.
I think so. Seriously.
If she can't check a book bag before she texts the teacher.
She can text the teacher all day
That's
long.
right. She don't have the
And
skills
don't get on
herself.
the phone with her because then she's talking about the kid and how wonderful she is and how smart she is. And I'm like, really? She's not.
That's
Really.
Okay,
That's
so here's
hard.
here's my helicopter parent story. So the reason why we're giving these examples is because we want the chimes to see what helicopter parent looks like. Okay, are you one? Okay, as we're giving examples, are you a helicopter parent? Okay, do you know one? Or you know what I'm saying? And if you are not a parent, have you experienced?
That's what David told my favorite planet is Uranus.
Oh my
Please look
goodness!
at Brian's comment talking about this is the result of new math. 2 + 2 = 5.
It's always been that way. yes, yes. Okay, so I had a parent. This is a helicopter parent, and I'm not going to say when it was within my 15 years of teaching. It's in one of these years.
Recent.
Okay.
Last
No, could have been,
Okay.
And this parent was very upset because their child did not get the grade that she felt that they should have gotten on this project. Okay, so she sends me this email. It's a very ugly email, basically saying you are wrong for my child getting a C. Okay, so I let her know. This is how I let her know. I did not even send back an email. I did not respond in that way. I sent my rubric, and then I sent his project.
Boom.
That's all I did. She did not respond.
Exactly.
There was no response.
Because she was grateful for that
Because
C
she
after
saw-
she got the project.
Exactly. And so
saying.
what I'm saying is, to me,
You should have
that is
been a D. Thank you.
that is a helicopter parent, because to me it should have been talking to the child. Why did you get this C on this project? Tell me what you did not. Show me what the teacher instructed you to do, so that I can see why you got a C. She did not even, and so we were working with this in class, and the child just did not do what I asked them to do. Okay, my whole point is, why are you going off on the teacher first?
Right.
Why are you making it like I should have given
Right.
the child a grade just because he's your child?
So then let's answer one of the questions then, because Michael Shelton, who is a new parent, asked this question. How do you oversee the success of your child without being helicopter-y? That's a very good question. And I would say one of the first things that you have to do is have a presupposition that you're not going to automatically believe your child over someone who's an authority. You don't believe your child over the teacher. You don't believe your child over the principal. Now
but
I'm
you can
saying
still
you can
still
support your child.
You can still make your child feel they're being listened to.
Exactly.
That's not, you don't just say you're probably lying.
Right. So here's the difference between our era.
Which our parents did to us.
That's my point. So the difference between our era and the new era is, in our era, I think our parents probably had an unfair sort of, they didn't really listen to us at all. If our teacher said anything, they can make it up. We're going to get in trouble. We used to get spanked sometimes for something a teacher would say that happened, and that wasn't really what happened in our estimation. So that's probably the other direction. And I think sometimes if you're parented like that, maybe you want to give your
Swing
kids
the other
what you
way.
feel like is the opposite of that.
Overcorrect.
That's
which-
that overcompensation part.
That's overcompensating for.
Right.
But
Right.
what I would say is, you can still advocate for your child and still be on their side and still support them, but also remember they are a child. So in your case and Kim's case, you guys have really little kids you're dealing with. Why would a parent ever believe? Why would a second grade parent come to Kim telling Kim off based on the word of their second grader? How old is the second grader? 9? 8?
Seven.
They're
Seven?
7, 8.
7 and
Hey,
8.
a 7-year-old comes to me and says something, and I'm gonna believe my 7-year-old without even asking the. At least I should have some kind of presupposition that maybe I should get the full story from the
Maybe
teacher
they
first.
misunderstood, or let's talk to the teacher.
Assume your kid is
In a
wrong,
respectful
probably.
way.
They probably misunderstood it. They probably, something like that. I'm saying that's a good starting point. Don't automatically assume that your kid knows the whole story, because they are a kid. You can still support them, but at the same time, you got to make sure that they understand that authority figures do matter. Because what you're really saying to your kid is, if anybody tells you no, the answer should be yes, and that you do whatever you can to make it yes, including making sure that you talk to this person's parent or something like that to get them to fight for you, even if you're wrong. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy.
I mean, I've had parents who automatically believe their kids, and their kid is actually lying.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
There
Like,
are
no
pathological
investigation.
liars.
Yes,
in
I'm talking about
classes.
no
They are
investigation.
liars.
I'm talking about
Yeah,
straight up coming and
period.
cussing you out, and you haven't even approached the teacher about anything. And those parents that immediately call the principal about things without coming to the teacher first or trying to figure, I think those are helicopter parents, because it's like, my child, this, and y'all know this statement, my child can do nothing wrong.
Right.
Right.
My child
And they don't say those words, but that's basically what they
words.
demonstrate.
And somebody said on here, accountability and kids taking responsibility for their actions. I think it is very hard for parents to allow kids to take responsibility for their actions, because if they do, they're going to have to suffer the consequences, and they don't want their kid to suffer consequences.
So
Exactly.
is it a
Let me
helicopter
tell you guys
parent?
what happened. Sorry, I have to tell
Go
you
ahead,
the
Kim.
story.
Go
real
ahead.
quick. So at the school, I had this little boy. He comes and tells another. Now, this didn't happen. This is not me. This is another teacher, but he was in my class. He goes and tells the teacher that his birthday is also the same day as another little boy. Okay, so the boy goes home, tells the other kid goes home and tells his mom that this kid's birthday is also on his birthday, twin birthdays. Mom comes, throws him a big party, gives the boy a special cupcake. He gets a special little gift. And we come to find out it wasn't his birthday. He was lying. He was lying the entire time. Hold on, this gets better. A couple of weeks later, the teacher gets called into the principal's office with board, chair, and all this, because that kid went home, because the teacher fussed at him, of course. He got in trouble at school.
For lying.
That kid went home and told the parent that the teacher spanked him.
He needed a spanking, Wayne.
He
didn't
sure
he?
got spanked. How come it didn't happen? That's what I want to know.
He went home and told the parent that the teacher spanked him.
Wow.
And instead
And the
of
parent
mother
believed that?
going straight to the teacher, she
Right.
went straight over everybody's head
Went to the
without the teacher
principal.
even knowing. Then here the teacher comes in the principal's office
Wow.
like, I did what? He
Wow.
said,
Why
what?
didn't the principal redirect the parent back to the teacher though? See, that's why you need
Yeah.
administrative
VP.
training.
That's
You
it.
gotta help
Exactly, Paul.
administrators
Exactly.
manage these situations. Your job as
Right.
an administrator in that situation is to redirect. Your first question to the parent: have you spoken to the teacher? If the answer is
Yes.
no, go have that conversation and then let's talk.
And then
Agreed.
it's on, right?
That's good, Doc.
So here's my
Yeah,
thing.
so-
Go ahead, Paul.
I was going to ask Michael's question. Could you put it back up? I don't know if it's too late. How do you ensure your
That you
child's
don't-
success without
This is
being
way back
helicoptery?
You can't ensure your child's success.
That's what I wanted to say.
No, he didn't say that.
He
He
said,
said, how do you
oversee
oversee
the
the
success
success
of
of
your
your
child
child
without
without
being
being
Okay.
helicopter?
All right.
Yeah.
The
It's
word in my
a
head was
thin
ensure.
line.
That,
It is a thin
that was
line.
my response. Yeah.
Yes.
But I was going to say though, I think as a parent, and of course I'm a new parent too. My son is not yet 2. He'll be 2 next month. But I've been an educator for almost 20 years. So I think as a parent, one of your main responsibilities is modeling, right? So your job is to show your child how to do certain things, right? Not to do things for them, right? And not to make sure they do them even. You gotta show them this is how you do it, now go do it, right? So and of course the older they get, the more you have the hands off. So I'd say at any age, your job is to model, appropriate behavior. So like for example, when my son comes into my room and I'm making my bed and he's watching me make my bed, which happens sometimes, I got to make sure I'll narrate it. when I'm making my bed, this is what I do. I fold it, whatever. I know he's watching. He can barely understand what I'm saying. But my point is, I'm trying to show him something so that when he's at Pine Forge in 11th grade, I don't have to come on campus and make his bed for him because I've been showing him how to do it himself. So I would say, Michael, the idea is to model, right? You want to demonstrate. This is how you do it yourself. And then, so like, for example, if in Kim's case, you have a second grader, young kid, right? You can't do, like, they can't do everything themselves. We know that. The kid is 7. But the idea is for the parent to, you want to be in a modeling mindset. So the kid comes, I forget the story already, actually, but the kid comes in and tells a story, this is what happened. So the parent says, okay, let's go talk to the teacher. And so now you model, this is how you talk to your teacher, right? Hey, you and I together, Susie, let's go talk to the teacher. Hey, right. Mrs. Kale, Susie says ABC. Susie would tell Mrs. Kale what you told me. Mm-hmm. Right? So let me facilitate this conversation. Let me model this thing for you. So again, we're teaching the skill, and then Kim don't have to worry about text messages on Sunday, which I wouldn't answer, by the way, but or phone calls 9 o'clock at night. I'm not answering none of them. But I'm just saying, like, as a parent, if you're showing them how to do it, then you don't have to be acting crazy, basically, and the kid learns the skill.
All right, Claire, you've had your hand up for a while, like a Baptist person tipping out of the church.
I think as soon as you say it to your child, okay, let's go talk to the teacher, the child's going to back down. Because the child knows he's lying.
For sure.
Exactly right.
For sure.
So all of a sudden the story's going to change. That's going to solve the whole... They would move forward with the lie, knowing that they're lying when you go to talk to the teacher.
Some of them will double down.
Listen.
Automatically...
Let me tell you, these days it does not matter.
If you have a serious helicopter parent and the kid knows it,
that's true.
They're going to manipulate their parent,
exactly.
and they're going to go all the way with that thing, knowing that their parent is going to defend them no matter what.
Yes.
And so I can stick with my lie, and the parents going to say, I know my child. My child would not do this.
Parents don't even realize that they are being used.
Exactly.
Right.
Being
Manipulated at times.
And children get good at manipulation before they can speak words.
Oh, of course.
Exactly.
That's what they learn. They're good at that.
Exactly right.
They're very good. So someone is asking about what about kids who have ADHD or have mental disorders? So what I would say is I like what Paul said, modeling.
That's Kim Booker.
Yes, Kim. Hey, Kim. Modeling. Okay. But I would also say that, helping them to realize that there are consequences when you make certain decisions. So just helping them along the way. So I am all about allowing kids to eventually, because we're not saying to let your 2-year-old pour their own drink.
Right.
But I would say that you continue to show them, let them practice, but you're there to help along the way. So I think it's the same thing with their little, for instance, when you have them doing projects or things, it's about not doing everything for them. So much so that when it's time, now you're ready to say, do it yourself, and then they don't, and now you're fussing at them. Right. And it's like, wait a minute, you never gave them a chance to even do it on their own. So I think we as parents, even if you have a child with mental disorders or ADHD, allowing them to do it on their own and mess up.
Right.
Because if you really think about it, and I'm not trying to be... Okay, I do believe education is important. Let me make that clear. I do believe it's good for students to do their best. But guys, do we ever see our elementary school grades once we leave elementary school?
No.
We never see them again.
Don't. Right.
Ever.
Nobody cares.
I have no idea what I got.
As soon as you graduate from 8th grade, you never see your elementary grades again. Ever.
It's not, because it's not important.
It really is not important. The grade is not important. Now, do you want to have your kid's name called for principal's list? Yes. Do you want to be able to tell your family that your kids have straight A's? Yes. All that stuff. But the reality is allowing them to make those mistakes. So that's why I really get upset when those parents do the projects for the kids and it's clearly not the student. I mean, all of you've had that. It's terrible that from K teachers all the way till college, we're all on here right now, and you're shaking your head because parents even have done college kids' work, and I'm saying that's a problem.
Right.
Be okay with allowing your child to make the mistakes, and I think that's what it is. And I have to say, it's hard to see because I've had to actually say to myself, I cannot do this. I have to allow them to do it themselves and mess up.
We're about to go there in a second because I want to ask that question. But I want to put this up real quick. I want to ask Tiffany. Tiffany says, I'm a proud helicopter mom. Now, I would probably challenge you, and I want to ask you, Tiffany, tell us in the comments, why you're proud of being a helicopter mom, and are you using the same definition we are? You know what I'm saying? Because
so let
because
me read
because,
it again.
Well, you don't have to go through all that.
Do I need to read the definition?
I don't think so, because we've been talking about this whole time. I think that there are parents who are trying to do what Michael Shelton said, which is, I want to help facilitate my child's success. To me, that may feel like helicopter to your parents because they were so hands-off, but that's not helicopter. That's not the same thing. Here's what I would say to someone like Michael and any other parent who's trying to figure this out. I would say, try to make sure you're clear on the goal of parenting. Here's what I think the goal of parenting is, and you may not agree, but this is what I think it is. If your job is to prepare your child to be on their own, if that's your job as an adult, then you would look at things differently, because the moment I continue to do things for you and make sure you're free from consequence and never let you make a mistake, then how am I ever really preparing you to be your own person in the world on your own? What I think is actually happening is a lot of helicopter parents are comfortable with this sort of codependent relationship that they have with their kids. They never want their kids to leave. They want their kids to constantly be dependent on them, and that's actually selfish. That's not a good thing. What you're doing now is you're setting your kid up for failure in life, even though they may never feel any consequences in life before they leave your house. You're setting them up to fail once they go, and guess what? After they leave, because they'll probably be mad at you that you didn't allow them to do things on their own. And then they'll say, man, my dad never let me fail, and so I have no idea how to do this or that or the other. Now, it's not a good look.
Yes, and I don't think that all helicopter parent children end up, the worst. But I do think that it would be harder for them.
No question.
To be able to adapt and adjust to...
And let me say one more thing. One more thing I want to say before I ask this question to all of you guys. The other thing I want to say is there are certain lessons that I learned the best because I failed.
Of course.
There are certain... I'm not talking about failing a class. I'm just talking about I messed up.
Yes,
I messed up at something.
Right.
There are lessons that stay with me my whole life that I learned the best. Like, I can't remember all of the games that I won in high school. But I can remember, but I can remember almost all the losses. And I remember all the stuff I did wrong. And that stuff is what made me a better basketball player, because I didn't want to mess that up again, because I hated the feeling of losing. It was terrible. My parents didn't keep me from that feeling. So when it came time to feel that, what ended up happening was, I think the character building stuff that I've experienced over my life have happened mostly from the failures, not from the triumphs. So actually, by taking away the consequences, you're keeping your kids from learning probably the most effective way of learning.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I would say it's most effective if you have a support system behind you as well. And I would say by what you did, John, you also learned how to process negative emotions, which children also don't know how to do.
Right.
Because their parents keep them from feeling negative emotions at all.
Exactly.
And, living in a world that has terrorists and pandemics and stuff and murders, like on TV,
you have to be able to
live
process
for
negativity,
you. Yeah, you're not going to avoid negative feelings. So what happens then when I get a student in college who cannot process these feelings and is trying to be in college and be a person, and I'm not a counselor, but now my job is also to be a counselor. I have a classroom full of students who don't have the skills and the resources to process the kinds of lives. I don't want to say the kinds of lives they're living, but the world as it is right now. Like there's a lot of bad news every day.
Right.
So what are you going to do about that?
So before you ask your question, John, I want to say one thing about the last thing April said, because it's we're close to it. The idea that you never see your elementary school grades again, right? So think about it this way, and we're educators, and we're telling you, and I've been, like I said, I've been administrator and teacher, basically K through 16, right? Of one or the other or both. Nobody cares about your elementary school grades in middle school. Nobody cares about your middle school grades in high school. Once you get into college, nobody cares about your high school grades anymore. Like the next level, they don't care. The grades get you in, they don't get you through, right? The thing that gets you through is the skills that you learn on the lower level, right? So if your grades are manufactured, then you can't actually get through you can get to the next level, but you can't get through the next level. I have a bunch of kids. That's the story I'm gonna tell when we get to it. I have a lot of students, and I, the college again, like I said, a lot of students who come into college and they have 3.8 GPA or 4.0 GPA and can't write and can't read
and
can't
4.5
do
and
arithmetic.
4.8. I'm like, how you get a
all
4.8?
all these inflated
What's
GPAs.
that?
I didn't even know.
These
I just
crazy
learned that that's
GPAs.
a new thing. That's a new thing. Yeah, that's a new thing.
You have weighted classes, so you have higher GPAs. We have the crazy GPAs and no
okay.
skills at all. And what I'm saying is you have, and it's not just parents. Sometimes it's the system, right? So you have teachers who do the same thing. We have teachers who pass along students who don't know how to do anything.
But sometimes they pass along because they know that if they don't do it, the parents won't go. Listen, I know that
you're gonna have hell to pay for the helicopter
everywhere
parent.
I have taught, there's always that kid that you know that parent's gonna go off. So teachers are afraid, so they just give them the grade.
They give him the grade. Yeah.
They give them the grade because that teacher's
Happens
gonna
all
come,
the
that
time.
parent's gonna come cuss you out. Listen, a friend of mine just told me that a parent came to her and went off because she did not give the child an award for it was field day. And you know how at the end of field day, all the kids get the awards, for winning the different games or whatever. Well, this kid didn't win any games. How you gonna be mad at the teacher because your child didn't get a trophy?
But they got like a participation
They got
thing.
and she didn't like that they got a. You know how you get a what is it called?
Participation
A ribbon?
certificate or something like that.
A little
Yeah.
ribbon.
A participation.
Certificate.
I know, but I want to say what is the
Certificate.
anyway?
If everybody
She didn't want that.
Honorary
Or whatever. She wanted first place. She
Right.
wanted first place, and I'm saying, why are you going off on the teacher and your child did not do the relay properly?
All right.
right.
I'm saying she didn't run
ran the
fast
wrong way
enough.
to race. You want
What is that? What is that? No, seriously, what does that do to that child? And so Akua said she heard somewhere that helicopter parents create anxiety. It ends up being anxiety in the kids when they come as adults. And in this article that I read, it says here, because I said I'd come to the effects of helicopter parents. It increases anxiety. Let me tell y'all something.
Process emotions.
Do you know
they can't problem solve?
I have never heard of kids with so much anxiety
Yes.
in my life.
Part of that's probably
now.
the pandemic and all that kind of stuff.
No, John,
but
this
the
was before pandemic,
hold on,
honey.
but the question is, how many of our kids
before pandemic.
were ill-equipped for something like this because everything in life has been handled for them, and now parents have no idea what to do because during the day I got to work and you got to be doing what you're doing.
Well, I know
can't
one
sit there
thing.
and fix all that stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Well, parents have been a lot more thankful for teachers.
That's
so, that's nice. And they've been openly telling us that. But Kim talked about struggling with a child with ADHD and everything that comes with it and how that's difficult. But what I would say is, and this is just me as a teacher and some training that I have, I don't have all the answers, of course. We don't have all the answers. But I would say that one thing that really works and helps for students.
Virtual VP.
Oh, Virtual VP does though. Virtual VP does though. Okay. But one thing that helps with students that have, ADHD and things that, keeping them on track and trying to keep it is keeping that structure there. Every day. This is our schedule. And what I notice is that, and it's hard for parents who don't have kids with mental issues or ADHD or anything like that. It's like to keep a schedule and to try to make sure your child stays going to bed at a certain time, even though they're crying, not wanting to. And usually we give in because we don't feel like dealing with it. And I'm not saying that's what you're doing. I'm not saying, but I know I've done that. I know that I've tried to stick with a tight schedule, especially when they're younger. And, sometimes getting tired and being like, just forget it, but you can't just forget it. You can't because...
By the way, here's a book
Yes.
recommendation from Kelly Doolin. She said, The Self-Driven Child is a great book for parents. Thanks for this recommendation, Kelly. We've never read it or anything, but hopefully that will help somebody who's going through some of this kind of stuff. The bottom line is we have to get our kids to be able to do things for themselves. And so you need to appropriately introduce them to the ability to do things on their own as they get older.
But something as simple as, these are your chores, and if you don't get them done, you can't play on the Xbox. I mean, those are simple things that you can do to say, so that they can be more independent. They can learn how to do things like clean their own room. Those little things. And maybe I'm a little bit strict on that, but I am so I do not want my kids not knowing how to clean up. I don't know why. That's just my thing. You have to know how to clean up.
Okay, so here's my question. It's almost 10 o'clock. I
Okay,
asked this
I'm
question,
sorry.
and then we want to get to Paul's story. Here's the question. Claire is not actually a parent, but Claire has parented all of our children in some way. So this is going to help everybody. Everybody can answer this question. I want to ask you too, April.
Yes.
Okay, here's my question. Now, let me just
And
make
if we all die, Claire's gonna be the mama for everybody.
That's
kids,
right. We already said that.
We already said that,
There's
right?
We already
not
said
parent
that.
to like 11 people.
Exactly.
Okay, so
This
here's
is
the
not
thing.
a joke. Everybody wished me Happy Mother's Day this past Mother's Day for that
Exactly.
reason.
Wow.
People online, they're
Exactly.
not joking.
That's right.
So here's the thing. The thing is, and I want to say this to Michael and anybody else who's a young parent on here. The thing is that there is an instinct that sort of wells up in you that you don't expect when your children are born. We have a friend who just had a child. They just had kids. Their first child last night. Was it last night or the night before?
Last night.
And the guy called me and said, "Why didn't you tell me that in the moment that I saw this little girl that I was gonna be like, whatever you want, you can have." You know what I'm saying? How come you didn't tell me that? I was like, my bad, man. I didn't. But there's something that happens to you when your children are born. There's this instinct that kicks in, and one of them is a protection instinct.
That's right. You don't want them to go
It's
through
part
it.
of
Yeah.
what you go through as a parent. And here's the thing, it's really hard. You have to fight against it. There are times when my natural instinct is to shield my children from consequences. That's my natural instinct as a parent. I think you're a good parent if that instinct is in you. So I don't want you helicopter parents to think that we think you're bad parents. Paul called you that earlier, but we don't really agree. We say
I was kidding. It was a joke.
I know you were joking. I'm saying what's happening is there's something inside of us that we have to fight against that says, I want to shield them from everything, but I know if I do that, I'm going to not be preparing them. So I have to allow them to have some consequences. So I remember when John was just learning how to walk, and I remember April would always go and try to, be right there. I was like, no, baby, let him, just let him fall.
And he got two big old knots on his poor little head.
We had hardwood floors. And sometimes he would
Walking
fall.
around with two black marks on his little face.
And John learned to walk. He learned to walk so early. He was only like 9, almost 10 months.
Yeah.
And so he learned to walk so early that his head was still
massive.
much bigger than the rest of his body.
Yeah,
so he would fall forward all the time on his head. Now, it wasn't that long far of a fall. You know what I'm saying? and some people may think that's actually child abuse. I don't know.
But really,
I'm just saying you can't catch them on every fall. Is what I'm saying.
It does start when they're little, but I'm saying I think there's a process. Like you when they're little, of course you're going to be there to make sure that they are not. It's a gradual letting go.
Correct. Now,
but
here's my
I can't
question.
take when a 4th grade parent is walking the child to the door with their book bag every day for the year.
Bag.
For the entire
carrying the kids' bag, they can't carry their own bag.
John, you think I'm joking? Carrying the kids' bag to the classroom door every morning,
Right.
dropping them off. That is a problem.
Okay, so
I have to name these things. You have to let me name what it does to kids so that parents here know, so that they can be more inclined to say, I will not be that type of parent.
Okay, so here's the question. Here's what I want to know.
It's good, Primo. Primo is good.
That's what I was saying. I was thinking that earlier. That cup don't look like.
Akua agrees with you, by the way. And Kim said that hit hard. I don't know if she's that 4th grade parent, but anyway. So here's my question. In what way have you done something that was helicoptery? Because every one of y'all's done it. I have a story for each one. I'm not going to tell you a story. I'm just saying, you've done it. And did you catch yourself in the middle of it and realize, oh, shoot, I'm being a helicopter parent? Or did you kind of just go through it and not even realize it till right now when I'm asking you the question?
Well, I can answer that right away because I'm not a helicopter mom at all. I'm very laid back with my kids. They can, not willy-nilly, but kind of laid back. But I messed up with April. Period. We poured her drink for her all the time because we were 17.
Well, that's what happens to that second
15,
one.
And you still pouring a drink?
No, but she spills all over the place. I'm like, this is all my fault. This is my fault because we poured it for her all the time. And then Cece has a sibling who's 7 years older than her. So if she's her other mother. If it wasn't me, it was Nina, right?
Right.
So yeah, that was my helicopter moment that has gradually gone up until age 15, and probably for the rest of her life now she will always still drink whatever.
No, that ain't gonna happen.
I believe that.
So she gonna learn to pour. Now
she will learn to pour, or she'll just spill it for the rest of her life.
Right. I'm saying, what's the big deal?
Is that why we heard all that clanging and banging?
That's why all that clanging and banging. Was she spilling the ramen?
Hey, at least she can make ramen.
Oh, we heard her. She can make ramen.
Listen,
That better be
wanted
some
me
good
to do
ramen
it.
on that doggone noise you
That
made.
was another thing. It was, Mom, can you make it? And I turned to her and I was like, you're 15. Make your own food. Tonight is your night. You're fine. Like, yes, I cook dinners or whatever, but you can do it yourself. Does she want me to? Yes. Does she don't want to do it, But if she got to do it, she'll do it. But that's all my fault. I am the helicopter mom on the juice and formula.
Yeah.
All right, Paul. Yours is about to be 2, and I don't know if you have any, helicopter stories, but I think you do. Helicopter-ish, I should say.
Yeah, I can think of 2 things. Let me say this though. I think whether or not you're a helicopter parent depends on the kid. So I don't think every behavior for every parent-child relationship is automatically a helicopter, right?
Yes.
So this is in reference to what was it Kim the
Kim
comment
Booker
talking about the ADHD? Yeah, talking about ADHD kid. It's probably different for a kid with any kind of developmental issue or whatever. It's different,
Correct.
right? So
Right.
So it depends, but I think the general idea is you have to give them latitude to learn and grow. You can't do everything for them, right? So how much latitude you give them will depend upon, factors. So anyway, so for Theo, there's 2 things that I can think of off the top of my head. First, I want to make sure he's eating. Now, he has the ability to feed himself. You put food in front of him, he'll eat it, right? He's actually a really good eater. He's very talented. I don't know where he gets that from, but
Is his last name Nixon?
Yeah, that's the good
Right.
his last name is Nixon. He knows how to eat. Loves a sandwich, by the way. Loves.
He is a
Yeah.
true Nixon.
There you go.
Wow.
He wants to eat bread every meal. Honestly, seriously, like we'll feed him dinner or whatever the meal is, and then he'll get down off his chair, and then he'll take his little stool and push it up to the counter and climb up the counter and pull the bread down and come and hand it. Like,
Wow.
you just ate. So anyway, so he knows how to eat. So if he's not eating, sometimes I'll feed him. Sometimes I'll put the food on the spoon. And I did today. I fed him because he wanted to play. It was time to eat. So I sat him down and made him eat. And that's very helicoptery, in my opinion, and I should stop that. Another thing is that he's very mobile, I guess is the word. He like TJ. He learned to walk really young. He learned to walk. He was 10 months old when he started walking. And just like TJ, his head was too big, so he fell a lot. But now he's almost 2. He's been walking for a long time, climbing stairs, all kind of stuff, and he's climbing all over the furniture. So that's not going to stop. He's going to climb trees and stuff as he grows. But what I'm doing now is I'm just making sure he doesn't fall. And I think that's probably a bad idea to a certain extent. I think I should let him fall sometimes. Like I shouldn't be sitting, like if he's climbing on the couch, I shouldn't go over to that couch and sit down next to him to make sure he doesn't fall, which I do sometimes. I should let him climb because he knows how to climb up and down the couch, and he's probably not going to fall. And if he falls, it's because he made a mistake, not because he doesn't know what he's doing, right? And mistakes are good. You're going to learn from the mistake. If he falls and stubs his toe or injures his finger, he'll be all right. He'll cry, but he'll be okay. He's not going to die falling off the couch. You know what I'm saying? So
Probably not.
That's 2 things I can think of. Probably not. Well, I mean, we dedicated him to the Lord. If the Lord wants to take him out from falling off the couch,
Don't do that.
Don't do that. Please.
That's
Yeah.
not even funny.
That's not funny. You don't joke with that.
No.
So, Claire, what about you? Any of your nieces and nephews you've had any instincts to helicopter?
I want to know what yours are because I can't think of nothing.
So
I have one that I did, and I was like,
I mean,
Yes.
for me, you said you had stories for each of us, John. And I'm like,
I did, but I actually didn't mean you. I don't know. I don't know if I have a story for you.
I tend
Do you-
to be
do you have
hands off because I'm kind of afraid of. I'm not afraid of children. I'm afraid of hurting children on accident. So I don't really. I just kind of let them do their thing because I'm dad. I'm clumsy and don't always know my own strength, and I've hurt people on accident before. No, seriously, it's like I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do that. So, like when Theo was born, Paul forced me. This is the day he was born. Paul forced me to hold Theo. I was like, no, I'm not holding because he's
I-
way too small.
I literally put him in.
He
I literally put him
forced
in her
me to
hands
do
and
it.
walked
I
away.
was terrified because I was like,
Aw.
he's too little. Like I felt like if I closed my hand wrong, I was gonna break his arm or something. So I try to kind of stay
He's not
away.
Mr. Glass. He's not. You know what I'm saying?
I'm scared. So,
How did you do? How did you do?
It was fine. I mean, I didn't move. I mean, I sat like this.
So you were a helicopter aunt.
Paul-
You did
Paul
not want him
placed
to get
Theo-
her at all, so you wouldn't even move.
Well, placed Theo in the hole that my arms had. I just sat there like I didn't move
Wow.
or anything. So
Okay,
But
April,
yeah.
what about yours? Because you have done something that I was like, wow, this is. I actually think I said to you, man, you sound like one of your parents now.
I don't know if this is the story, but I have to keep myself from being a helicopter mom. I do. Sometimes it's hard because, you know, you want to stand up for your kids or whatever, but I do back off. I catch myself because I don't want to be that parent.
Or I catch her.
Or John catches me. That's true. But I was a helicopter parent in this one instant where Julia got a grade. Is this what you're talking about?
Yes.
She got a grade on a project that she did with a partner, right? I saw the project before it was sent. They were like, look at this. It was something they had to do where they had to sing or something, do something. And they did it, and it was okay. It was fine. It wasn't the best, but I was like, this is your project. I'm not doing it for you, right? Mm-hmm. Sent the project, and she gets a B, but the other girl gets an A. So I'm over here like, they did the exact same thing.
What was the other girl?
I watched. You said what? Oh,
What color was the other girl? Actually,
she was
same color.
Same color.
Yeah.
Well, kind of. But anyway, so so she
What color was the
gets.
teacher?
Stop it. So she gets an A. Julie gets a B. Right. And I'm sitting up here like, okay, they did the same exact. I really turned into helicopter mom, y'all. I was like, hold on, my baby did the same thing,
Ooh, she
I did
didn't
not
go get on him.
No, I didn't go get on. I did
She
that
didn't
at
go
the
get
house.
She
I
did,
did
right.
that at
She
the
did
house.
that at the house in the room.
So at the house
Right.
in the room with John, because I didn't let
with the teacher.
Julius. What'd you say?
I said, and with the teacher.
She
No,
didn't.
I did not.
But
You know, I
she was.
don't do- but-
the part that surprised me was that she was about to talk to this teacher that way, and I was like, April, you complain about people like you all the time. What are you doing?
But I said,
like, don't
babe.
go assuming that Julia's right. Maybe something happened.
But
Why
no,
don't you
that
find
Julia's
out?
right. I saw this was not just her coming in.
I got
Well,
it.
she did come and tell me how I'm gonna get this grade, and she didn't, or whatever. So I'm looking at this. So I went to the teacher, and the teacher was like, she didn't sing loud enough. I wanted to be like, was that on the rubric? You got to make sure you sing at this level. I mean,
Right.
these are whack little phones that they're using to record their stuff, whatever. So I said, put it on, let's watch it together right now.
You and the
Right to
teacher.
the teacher.
That was helicopter mama right there.
Oh, yes.
She put it on. I said, that's the same exact volume. They're singing the same volume. Like I got like that, y'all. I was like, they're singing the same volume. How can you say her volume makes it so that she gets a B? And that does, to me, that does not. I mean, I went in. She said, no. So I left. And usually I'm telling Julia to do this because I have taught her to be an advocate for herself. I think that we should teach our kids to do that. So she has gone to her teachers about everything. I was not stepping in. But in this instance, I felt like I needed to step in. So I stepped in. I went in again. And I said, I'm sorry. I really don't think that this is fair. Give them both a B. I didn't care if she got a B. You just need to give them both the same grade because whatever. Anyway, so she ended up giving her, she was like, okay, I'll give her, the 3 points. I was like, whatever. Like she gave her like an A minus. She didn't get the same grade. She got a lower A, whatever the case may be. But I was trying to make a point to the teacher that you can't do that, and there's no evidence. You're not telling me a good reason why. But I think I should have just left that alone or just allowed Julia to go and deal with that herself. But I did step in because I was a little bit involved in that project, in that they came to me multiple times. How does this look? They were doing it together, whatever.
So let me just say real
So were
quick
you-
that I don't agree necessarily that you shouldn't have done that. Because I actually feel like that's not a normally
Yes,
that's
I
not
should have.
that's not a normal thing that you always do. So I don't think I think that's helicopter-ish, like
That
you
was
said. I don't think
helicopter-ish,
that
though.
makes you a helicopter mom. I also think that was helpful in But I do think
Thank
it
you,
would.
Cynthia.
I do think it would have been good if you actually had gotten Julia involved at the level in which
I
you
did.
did.
So what I did was I sent her first. I
Said,
sent
helicopter April wins, A-.
I sent her. I actually sent her 2 or 3 times. I said, email her. You always got to email because you need to have. I teach my children you should always email your teachers first because you need to have something written. You know how that is, guys.
Right.
So
Like a paper trail type
Paper
thing.
trail,
Yeah.
yes. So I told her to email, and that didn't work. So then I told her to go in. She talked to the teacher a couple times. It didn't work. So I felt like, okay, now it's my turn. So that was helicopter-ish in the way I did it too, because I
Right.
did it in like my child did the same, that kind of thing.
So here's what I'm really
So,
saying.
you know.
Here's my reason for bringing that
But
up.
I think we should advocate for our children.
I think Aaron agrees with me that there was nothing wrong with that. But here's the thing. Here's what I'm really trying to say by bringing up these stories. First of all, I think that this stuff comes from a good place. I think
It
that
does.
I
It
wanted to put both sides on here because I think what we're talking about now is all of you guys from your perspective as teachers hearing these crazy parents coming to you talking to you. But then when you put the shoe on the other foot and you're the parent,
Yes.
you do the same thing that
Yes,
that these
it's
parents do
true.
to you,
It's true.
and you have to
That is
realize
true.
that
It's
it's
true.
coming from the same place.
Yes.
We have a strong instinct to want to protect our children, but I think that every parent should be asking themselves when they go through this, is this ultimately going to help my child to become an adult?
Yeah.
Is this ultimately going to be something that helps them in the end, or what? And I think we should weigh it and make a decision.
Yeah, and if I were to tell the many stories that I did not step in, I would say
Right.
they were very helpful.
Yes.
Because I didn't step in, even though I wanted to so badly. So I think we all
almost
have
did.
helicopter parent in us.
Right.
But we have to fight that. No, seriously,
I
because once
agree.
you have that kid, you want that child to have everything.
Right.
And
Yes.
you want that
You want
child
the best for
to
them.
have the best. You do.
Yeah.
And and I will say, I think Kim mentioned something about homework and working hours on homework with your child. Let me tell you, that happened with John when he was younger. And where we were working hours and hours with homework, didn't want to do it. And I got to the point where I started saying, you know what, you have to chunk those things. Here, you know what, do these. If you finish these 5, math questions, then we'll take a break and go get a snack or something like that. Like, or you finish at 5 and then go to bed. That's it.
Kim was saying that
You know-
because she was doing it for hours, she took over and just did it for him because she was tired of doing work.
Exactly. But what I'm saying is, if that teacher and that's never a good idea. That's never a good idea. I feel like
Why
it's
don't
better to
bring homework?
do the 5, go to the teacher, and teachers should be reasonable. Teachers really should especially if that teacher knows that child is dealing with some things. We were able to get through 5, but he did this on his own. And then I sent him to
couldn't do
bed
more.
because if they're not getting the rest that they need, they won't be good the next day.
The next
So
day,
I'm all
exactly.
about I am all about you stopping the homework and putting the kid to bed. You know what I'm saying?
Horace asked, were you upset because you actually helped on the project?
I actually didn't. That's so funny because
pretty much the same thing.
I know. Actually, I did nothing. They actually did this project somewhere else, and they came back with the final
And just showed it
project
to you.
and showed it to me, and I was like, "It's okay. It wasn't great. I'm not. That was not even an
You didn't
A.
think it was
I
A
felt
work.
like both of them should have got a B.
Right.
It was okay.
Right. You're just saying
But
how's one
I-
going to get one better than the other? It's the exact
That's
same
all
thing
I'm
they
saying.
did.
And I
Right.
wasn't gonna send them back to redo it because it had already taken hours. So
Okay, so
anyway.
Paul, tell us your story.
Well,
If you can
one
remember it.
beautiful day, Brooklyn, New York, 1980. I was
Oh my
born.
goodness.
Oh,
Not
sorry, you
your
don't
story.
want- that's not
The story that
my
you've
life
saved
story.
for now.
Oh.
You nuts.
All right. So this actually happened last semester, in the spring of 2021, where I work as a professor at Oakwood University. I'm saying all the names except the name of the student. Okay, so so
You.
the class is I'm gonna try to abbreviate this if I can. What are you doing? Oh.
Oh, you.
I'm gonna try. So the class is freshman composition part 2, which is research writing. So we teach writing as a process, and this is one of the things I was going to say just a second ago. The work for an actual educator, the homework is never about the assignment, right? The assignment is attempted to teach you something. That may be right. It's possible.
I've never gotten a
Some-
call
Anyway, so-
from a dad in my life.
Really?
No, moms are definitely more
Never.
helicopters.
Maybe.
Definitely,
possible.
not maybe.
Never.
It's true.
My story has
I
a mom
got
in it.
one helicopter dad this year.
Wow,
Yeah,
really?
I've had a couple helicopter dads, but they're mostly moms.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead, bro.
Anyway, the class is research writing. We teach writing as a process. So we do a lot of smaller assignments, and then we do drafts, and we do revising, we do editing, all that kind of stuff, and then the final draft is worth 25% of the grade. We spend 7 weeks on the assignment. The final draft is the culminating project, right? So I intentionally don't read first drafts. There's a first draft assignment, and then I give them like a peer review assignment, and I give them all these resources to make their own edits, and then I read second drafts, right? I read final drafts, mostly because first drafts are trash.
Yeah, they're terrible.
So first drafts are horrible. So
Final drafts aren't really better, but
final drafts aren't better. First drafts are worth. If this is for everyone out there. If you're trying to publish something and it's your first draft, throw it away, and write it something else and publish that. so anyway, so I use a plagiarism checker, right? So this particular student, his plagiarism percentage came back at 70%, 70, right? Which means 70% of his paper was found on various websites. So I gave him a 0. 25% of your grade is now 0. He failed the class. So obviously he had a problem with that. He wanted to meet. Cool, let's meet. Let's talk, right? So this is online student. The class is hybrid, but the student's online. The student is in a different state, right? So the meeting is on Zoom. We meet. I'm just kind of walking him through. He's like, how did I get to this point? I'm like, well, this is what you did. This is what I share my screen. Like, this is where we are, so on and so forth. He's disagreeing with me, saying I had no idea. I didn't know I wasn't supposed to do that. I was like, well, I'm looking at your course, and you didn't read any of my feedback. Of course you didn't know you weren't supposed to do. You haven't been following the process. Writing is a process, not an event, right? So if you didn't read the feedback from week 2, 3, 4, and 5, then of course week 6 you're jacked up. So and
your system tells you when he's read it or not.
Right, exactly. Mm-hmm. I can see in the system he has not read my feedback. He's like, he said to me, I've never heard that until just now. I was like, well, I'm looking at your feedback, and I know that you've never heard it because you didn't read the feedback I gave you 4 weeks ago. If you had read that feedback, you would know, and you wouldn't have done this now. You see
Right.
we have a problem? He's like, well, Then a voice comes from over on the side, a woman's voice, and his mom is like, can I talk to him? I was like, I didn't know your mom was part of this conversation. I didn't know I was talking to two. I had no idea I was talking to two people. So first of all, I've been ambushed, right? So she gets on the camera and she says, I want to talk to you about, I was like, I can't talk to you. This is college. I can't talk to you about legally. I can't do it.
Right.
So, which incidentally is one of my favorite things about college.
Wow, I did not. I actually did not know that.
Not allowed to talk to the parents. The student has to sign a waiver to allow me to talk to the parents.
What?
Wow.
And,
yeah,
it's not
fantastic.
Yeah,
That is beautiful.
They have to sign a
Fantastic,
waiver.
yeah.
They have to sign a waiver, and since they have to sign a waiver, until I see the waiver, I assume they haven't signed it. Right. So as soon as the parent comes to me, my first response is to shut them down. And then if there's if they insist or whatever, I'll go ask the registrar's office, hey, did they sign the waiver? They'll tell me, and if I can
gotta
talk
do
to them,
all
I can.
that. What
Right.
year are y'all in?
Exactly.
We don't know how to use. We don't know how to
Oh
use.
my
Oakwood.
gosh.
Okay, we don't know how to use
It's
computers.
Oakwood.
Anyway, so let's neither.
Wow.
Oh.
Great professor. Wonderful professors at Oakwood. Great teachers. Okay, so anyway,
Got
Mom
him.
comes on, she's like, I want to talk about my kid. I was like, I can't talk to you. She's like, okay, well, I'll just talk. You listen. So she talks for about 10 minutes. I didn't say a word. I didn't say one word. She just talking. Now, you mentioned something like this earlier, April. The entire content of what she said to me was about her students' achievements and his character. Now, here's the thing. Nobody cares.
That's not what we're talking about.
It's not. No. Seriously, it's not relevant.
You're not.
Right.
You're not
saying-
attacking his character.
Right.
I didn't say anything about him as a person. I didn't say
Right.
one word about him as a person. What I said was, here's the assignment you turned in that I can't accept.
Right.
The end.
Exactly.
I don't care about your GPA. I don't care about your scholarship. I don't care about
Exactly.
I don't care about all the teachers you can call for a reference. This is what the mom was saying. These are the stuff the mom was saying. I can call this old school. He goes old school, and you can ask anybody. And
Oh
this
my
is his GPA,
goodness.
and this is what he wants to do with his life. I care deeply for him as a human being. In this moment, it does not matter. That's not what we're talking about. His character is not on trial. Nobody cares.
Wow.
We're talking about the assignment. Okay. So and the other thing. So here's the other thing. Like I teach this class every semester, every year rather, and very rarely does somebody get to the point where they get to the final draft and the final draft is plagiarized. Right. It happens once every 2 years or something like that.
Because
This year,
you talk to
this is
them
the only
along the
student.
way as they're okay.
It's a process.
Yes.
It's a process. We go through a process, right? By the time we get to the end, if you've cheated, then you just wanted to fail. I don't know what you do.
That's a shame, Horace, but that's a relevant question. That's
For real.
That is Horace.
You see what he said, Paul?
I'm gonna.
That's a shame.
Who is the student? And wow, so this is
It was this last year.
The student is still a student.
Yeah.
Yeah, the student is still a
Okay.
student. I'm going to tell you in a second what he wants to do for a living, and I'm going to ask you if you want him to do this for you. Okay, so
Oh my goodness.
I'm going to tell you in a second. So what was I saying? So, this year, this is the only student with whom I had this problem. I use a plagiarism check on everybody. I check everybody's paper before I read it. So it has nothing to do with who the people are. I check every single person's paper, plagiarism checker. I just look at the number first. If the number is too high, I don't read the paper. You got 65%. I'm not reading this paper. It's a waste of my time. You cheated. Here's your zero. I'm moving on. That's what I do. Right. Okay. So this is the only person. He's the only student. So I said, okay. And I was like, I'm a reasonable person. If there were 4 or 5 or 6 of you, I would think I made a mistake. But there's one. There's only one of you.
Right.
It's just you. Everybody have the same instruction. It's only you. You're talking about you didn't know, you didn't read the feedback. This is on you, player. Like, I don't know what you want me to do. Right? So mom ambushed me talking about this kid is amazing, blah blah blah. I ended up giving him, I'll tell you this, this is the end of the story. I ended up giving him an opportunity to rewrite the paper. And the reason I gave him an opportunity to rewrite the paper is because the school had made 2 errors with his enrollment at the beginning of the semester. So he actually wasn't supposed to be in my class. And he told me, I don't like online. He was like, if I had known this class was online, I wouldn't have taken it.
Okay.
But they told me the class was wrong. All my other classes are interactive.
In person.
I have to talk to the teacher. Yeah. Not in person, but online, on Zoom. I have to talk. Well, yeah, I guess that. Yeah. So he's like, I have to talk. That's how I learned. I have to talk to the teacher. This class is asynchronous. If I had known that at the beginning, I wouldn't have taken the class. This is why I thought it was this. And I was like, yeah, I've heard that before. That makes sense. And there was another error. He was like, he joined class like 3 weeks or 4 weeks late because of another error that wasn't his fault. So he was in the wrong class. That wasn't his fault. And he was a month late, which also wasn't his fault. So he was at a severe disadvantage the entire semester. Now, of course, he didn't say anything to me all semester long about these problems, but I gave him another chance anyway. So he rewrote the paper. He ended up passing. He didn't get a good grade because the paper still wasn't good, but it was at least a paper that he wrote. Right, pass the class, we'll move on. I'll probably never see him again. So, one of the things that the mom said to me, and the last thing I'm gonna say, I'm gonna tell you what he wanted to do. One of the things the mom said to me is these words: "He deserves mercy."
Wow.
Wow, definitely helicopter mom.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's not possible.
That's not
Not
good.
possible. It is
Not it.
not
The
possible.
definition
Not good.
the definition of mercy is that it's undeserved.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
That's what it
Deserve
is.
mercy.
He deserves it.
Right.
Wow.
That's
Right.
that's
And
really
by the way,
sad.
Yeah.
Paul is the best teacher at Oakwood. Period.
Yes, he is.
Right.
He is.
Only
Nina-
because
Except for when Claire was there.
Right.
I was about to say that's the
Except
only
for
very-
when Claire was there.
That's
But
Yeah.
Nina
that's
continues
very
to tell
kind.
me
It's
all
probably
the
not
time.
true, but it's very kind.
Nina
Thank you very
keeps
much.
This is
But
coming
probably
from
not true.
Nina. This is coming from Nina. So
Oh, Nina, I'm whipping Nina into shape. Nina's, by the way, is brilliant. Don't tell her I said that. But Nina
she's
is,
so
Nina is-
she's
She
really
is.
good.
yeah,
We're
she
very
is
proud of her.
spectacular on that stage. She is
So proud of her.
spectacular.
Mhm.
Anyway,
That's
so
my
I'm
niece,
about to
by
put
the
her
way.
in a
That's my
movie.
niece. That's my niece.
That's my baby. Helicopter mom.
Yes, helicopter auntie.
Here's the thing. This student wants to be a medical professional. He wants trying to be a doctor. So
Cheating.
we have
Right.
somebody 4.0 GPA, right? All into sciences and stuff like that, but doesn't have the skill to say, "Hey, I need help" when he needs help. Very basic. Doesn't have the skill. Excuse me. Doesn't have the skill. I had to fight with him and dig in order to get the information that I needed to give him the second chance that he was asking for. His whole thing was, "I didn't know. Give me another chance." That's not gonna work. No,
Right.
that's not like I need you to be able
So
to think
he
through your
had the
problem and
ability
find a
to get a
solution for it.
legitimate second chance from you, but he didn't even know to tell you, hey man, I'm in the wrong class. I didn't realize this. I didn't get into 4 weeks late. That wasn't even my fault.
needed his
He didn't know
mom to
anything.
do that.
You had to find that out yourself.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was incidental. And his
Wow.
mom wasted my time for like 15 minutes talking about he deserves mercy. I'm sitting
Let me
here
tell y'all,
looking at
there
my
are a lot
phone
of
and
parents
you
like
do all
that.
kind of
He was looking at his
Play
phone.
video
at the
games
moment.
on your
Wow.
Playing
Yeah, I
Snake
wasn't paying
Games.
attention.
Nathan.
It just
That's
starts like
hilarious,
start
man.
your game on my phone. It's fun. So yeah.
Okay.
That's my story.
So-
Ambry says she has students that say, I deserve an A if I work hard. And she told this student, someone lied to you, baby.
Yeah,
So
that's not true.
Paul and I have a show. What do we call this?
Show.
That we're putting together called College Hacks, where we're actually going to reveal to students things like that, things that people don't tell students that they just literally don't know. And one of the things that we're going to talk about is the expectations that students have about grades. Students do believe that if they work hard, they should get an A, but we don't.
Right.
Teachers don't grade based on effort.
Right.
That's not how we grade.
Yeah.
Right.
And so I've heard that before too. Who's that, Ambry? I've heard that
Especially in
before too,
college.
Ambry. Yeah, especially because that doesn't work. You don't.
Especially in college.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. Because I think at a young age you can do that. You can grade. I think you can do something based on effort depending on the situation.
Because you're trying
When
to
you're
build that
younger,
into
because
your
you're trying to
kids.
build that,
Never give up and things like that.
Right,
That's important.
working hard and that
Yeah,
kind of thing. So
yeah.
rewarding them for that hard work. But once you get to college, nah, bruh. So
And the other thing is
Even now, but see, even now,
students think
even now
that
for me,
spending
it's
a lot
great
of
as-
time
it's great
on
as-
something means working hard, and it doesn't. You spend
No.
9 hours on that because you were distracted the whole time. You weren't working hard.
Right.
You were on your phone.
Right.
That's not
Right.
the
Yeah.
same thing.
Watching the game.
That's
Yeah.
hard work.
right.
but see, even now for me, as you know, as a college professor, a grade that's on the border, I will use effort as like a measuring, like it's like a little bonus,
Yes.
right? If a student
Right.
has like a 79, and I'm like, yo, this kid
Exactly.
contacted me 4 times, and he's trying
Right.
to, he's like working really hard. Let me
That's what I
bump
be
it up. I know
telling
it's a
Nina.
79. I'm gonna give him a B minus.
Mhm.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? But it's not
Mhm.
it's not gonna be an A just because you called me 4 times. Like you have to give me
Right.
something. Like it's gotta be some product there.
Listen, this teaching online really revealed some things because I had some parents, y'all, who'd be sitting in the class whispering to their child as if I wouldn't be able to hear that.
Wow.
Or you could see their arm on the side.
Wow.
You can see their
I
elbow.
can see you right
Their
there.
elbow.
Yeah.
No,
Wow.
no, seriously, y'all. This is how it would
So
look.
annoying.
Let me see if I can do it.
That's it.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
it, April.
And you're still at the screen. I
Right.
can see you right now. Right.
And you'd be like, you know, I can see you. You know, I can see
Right.
you right there.
Hey,
Wow.
Or I
Primo
ask
said
you to
number
get
one
a
lesson from
question,
Paul's
and then
number lesson from
kid
Paul's
turns
company:
around
call
like
your
this and
students
goes,
player.
"Oh, the parent, what am I saying?
Exactly.
Did you hear
When the
me?
kid turns
Yeah.
to the parent.
The kid turns to the parent and said,
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God.
Yes. No, y'all. I had a parent who was always in the room with this kid, and the kid, when the dad started talking, the kid would be so embarrassed, and he would be scrambling to find his mute, like, cause he did not want his
Poor
classmates
To know his
to hear
helicopter
that
dad
the
was in
dad
the
is
room.
in there saying,
"Ooh."
say this or
Big ol'
answer the
kid like that?
question or, oh man, it's not good, and I don't think the kids really want it. Sometimes I
No,
think
they
the kids feel
don't.
like, Ma, you know.
Listen, my kids would not even answer questions like they normally would because
the parent is there.
Yes,
Exactly.
yes,
Yes,
Exactly.
To be
It's
all
crazy,
shy
man.
Okay, so-
acting, and I'm like, Johnny, answer
Uh-oh.
the question.
Sherry says she's guilty.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
Sherry,
Uh-oh.
no.
Shake, that's your shake shakes?
Uh-oh. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shay shakes.
Uh-oh.
2 shakes.
Look, it's so tempting, man. It's so tempting.
Michael Shelton said, thanks for my 80%, Paul. Couldn't have made it in your class without it.
Okay, so
I
guys-
did teach Michael at Oakwood.
Oh, did you? And did he get an 80?
I don't remember what he got. He'd remember better than I would.
He remembers
Listen,
that.
80% Paul class is very good.
That's
Exactly.
what I'm saying. That's a good grade.
That's a
You
great.
probably,
That's a great.
you probably you. I wish I could give students I wish grades meant this is how much you learned as opposed to this is your level of mastery, because a lot of students would get amazing grades, but of course I can't
Learn
give you an A
nothing.
because you haven't mastered the skill. But like you came a long way, dog. Like you know,
Right.
I'm not talking to Michael.
But that's
I'm just
where
saying,
that
you know.
79 that he had, you gave him that 1 point.
There
So,
you
you
go.
know,
All right.
Yeah.
Michael had a 79 and you gave him an 80. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, Michael. Okay, so this should be why we should really try to fight hard not to be that helicopter parent, because this is the things that, and y'all, when you see helicopter parenting with kids going to college, they're like, don't know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking seriously, like, well, how do I fill out this application, or where do I go to sign up for these classes? I mean,
Put your
seriously.
name on the line that says
Yeah, do you see the
name.
line that says name? Seriously, like
Where it
I
says
see
date, put the
kids
date.
like that.
Right.
I said that
That's
was
bad.
me.
Which
know
date?
Daddy helicoptered
You want the day of my
me.
birthday?
You were helicoptered, Kim?
I was helicoptered.
You were helicoptered.
in
I was
college.
not helicoptered
Yes.
at all.
I was helicoptered.
Wow.
And my father did everything for me.
Oh.
Wow.
Mm.
And now
And
look at
me,
you not
April,
letting April make her
and
own ramen or pour OG.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Me, it
Second-
just-
You know
Second
why,
generation
Kim? I'm gonna
helicopter.
tell you
Second
why,
generation,
Kim.
exactly.
This is really bad, but a lot of short people are helicoptered. No,
that's
no,
not true.
seriously.
No, it's true.
No, it's true. I'm sorry, Kim, but it's true. Because you're like 15, but you look like you're
And
9.
you look like you're in 4th grade.
Yeah, so you
People
just
still
think.
that you're a baby.
Seriously,
So-
that's why I was not helicoptered.
So that's
because
dirt. That's dirt, babe. And
It's true.
and it's also dirt that nobody knew Kim is standing up right now. You know what I'm saying? All this time. You didn't have to tell everybody that, man.
I'm sorry, Kim, but it is true. It is true. It is true.
Oh, no.
So, because I was not helicoptered.
I was helicoptered. So I would get to campus and be like, where do we go? What am I supposed to do?
Right.
Oh, you still do that
But
now.
you
No, I'm
still
just kidding.
you made
I
it.
sure do. I can't
I'll
go
be
to
like,
the grocery
Kim, let
store.
me tell you what to do.
You made
I'm
it.
the older sister. I'm the older sister.
See what happens? This is what happens, parents out there.
Yes.
Helicopter your kids.
Mhm.
Turn out to not being able to grocery shop because I can't.
You can't
That's
grocery
true.
shop.
I'm
No, she
standing.
can't.
I
No.
cannot grocery shop.
Kim, you should be able to
I'm
grocery shop
standing
because
there
we
and
went
I'm just
grocery
like-
shopping.
No, April, please. When you and I went grocery shopping together, we were both trying to figure
No,
out.
let me tell you why we can't. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why I can't grocery shop. Listen, we went with Mama all the time after school grocery shopping. We hated
And
it.
we
But let me
hated
tell.
it.
I know, but let me tell you why I can't grocery shop. And you cannot grocery shop because we have husbands who grocery shop the bomb, and we never developed that skill because they just
Which is
you know.
helicopter husband. Oh,
Exactly, exactly. I definitely have a helicopter husband.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
Please.
He does.
I have a helicopter husband, definitely, guys.
John, April can't even put groceries away. You got to redo them.
That's true.
Exactly.
And I appreciate my helicopter
can't
husband. That's what
even
I want a
finish our
helicopter
meal.
husband.
Me and April.
So-
I said, Nina. April, we can't even finish our meal at the table because John's taking our food away to throw it away.
Listen, I'll be on my last good bite, and I'm like, I'm saving that. Listen, I think all husbands should be helicopter. Okay.
Horses, that'll be a good subject.
Exactly.
Well, clearly we're making up with the fact that we didn't have a show last week. This is our longest show we've ever had.
It is.
An hour and
Wow.
47
I
minutes.
didn't even realize it was 10:37.
That's what I'm saying. You
But
should be
this
getting into
is
bed, Kim.
this is a good. Yeah, Kim's the only one that has to get up for work tomorrow,
Exactly.
Let me refill my daggone.
Mine's empty.
So the point is,
right? I'll call you tomorrow to keep you
we
awake.
need to go with team whoever now.
No,
And so-
not yet.
where's
I
the
gotta read
effect?
this,
Where's the
guys.
effect?
Wait.
You want to read the
please.
effects?
Yeah.
Go
Let
ahead.
me read the effects.
Okay.
This is not good.
Okay.
Decrease confidence and self-esteem. Please just put your hand. Just do this if you feel like you see that in these helicopter parent children. I'm talking to you guys. Do you
As
see
teachers.
that as teachers? Because I definitely see that
Decrease
they don't
confidence.
have confidence in themselves to be able to do anything because the parents are always doing for them. Undeveloped coping skills. Okay. All right. Increased anxiety. I've seen that more now than ever. Okay. Now this one's a big one because I see this and it is just
It kills you.
this one kills me. Sense of entitlement.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Come on,
yes.
y'all.
Deserving mercy.
Deserving mercy is
Right.
a sign.
Right.
Wow.
Exactly.
Okay. And then undeveloped life skills.
Yeah, all that.
This is what happens if you
Okay.
helicopter your kids too
Last,
much.
last thing. So I teach mostly incoming freshmen. I would say probably about 90% of my students are incoming freshmen. And over the years, and I've been teaching for about 10 years, over the years, I've had to change how I teach my composition classes to include basic life skills because my students literally just didn't have it. And they cannot give me the quality of reading, writing, and thinking that they need to move on to the next level without some basic life skills. So my class is really like a life skill.
Life
skill and composition.
It's like a life coaching composition class.
Wow.
Because the students just don't have the stuff.
Wow.
That's really sad.
And you only did that because what you were finding was your kids were probably not doing nearly as well as they could have been because they clearly lacked the skill of being able to live.
And at the end of the day, I have to grade that stuff. So I'm just trying to help myself.
There you go.
Get through a semester. No, seriously, get through a semester.
It takes so much.
With all my
longer to grade
emotional
bad
and
papers.
mental faculties intact.
Wow. Yeah.
I'm trying to help me. Not helping them. Honestly.
Hey, Amber says she needs them notes to teach her seniors. You know what I'm saying? She needs that too.
No, it's really sad.
And Shansa, and
really
you ain't get no stipend for that either.
No
you know
stipend.
No.
No recognition. Nothing.
Anyway, thanks y'all. You spent a lot of time with us tonight. It's been
Let me just read this. Sense of entitlement. Listen to this. Children who have always had their social, academic, and athletic lives. Athletic is a big one because these parents be acting. Okay. Adjusted by their parents can become accustomed to always having their way, and thus they develop a sense of entitlement.
Yep.
Always get your
Strong
way.
sense of entitlement.
Always having their way.
That's
Anyway,
bad, man. Anyway,
that is bad.
Hopefully, y'all fools stop being helicopter parents.
I'll try not to. I'll try not to do that. I definitely have it in me to do, but I fight that.
That's true.
I fight it.
Anyway, love y'all. Thanks for coming on and for being so great tonight. You guys did an excellent job as guests.
Yes.
And you have rolled with us for a minute, and now we give you team whatever top chime status, even though your Facebook is not going to give it to you naturally. But you should get it for being on here for 2 hours with us today.
Exactly.
Paul, Claire, and Kim.
He talking about 3 ladies, 2 men. What team shall I choose?
We'll see. All right, y'all. See y'all next time, whenever that is.
Team Nixon or Team Mendenhall?
All right.
Team Mindy's.
Team Mindy's, yes.
All
All right, y'all.
So clearly,
We're
it
not
doesn't.
coming on.
We don't need the camera on here on us this time. You know what I'm saying? I don't know
what's up
why
with
this
that?
thing is.
We having issues tonight.
And the funny thing is that all the people are gonna make fun of me and say that
You
it
were
was my
pressing
buttons I was pressing. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't. You know what I'm saying? I had nothing to do with
goodness.
that. Anyway, hold on. Let me move this mic out the way. So there is no Team John or Team April in this situation. It probably needs to be like Team Parenting or
It
I
could
don't
be
know.
Team whoever. People saying Team Paul. They felt like Paul.
That's true. Yeah, we do want to know. Team
Kim
Paul,
talking about
Team Kim,
Mindy's,
Team
Mindy's, Team
right?
Nixon's.
Exactly.
You know, whatever you want to do.
You never know who won tonight.
Exactly. Team Paul for the mineral water. For the mineral water.
That's hilarious, man. Anyway, thanks for hanging with us tonight.
Oh,
Kim Booker,
got another
Team
Team
Paul.
Paul.
Another one. Wow.
I think you winning tonight, Paul.
Team Parenting, that's Clamore. Because real parents watch J&A. That's true. Real parents do, you know what I'm saying, put their kids down and then watch, you know what I'm saying, John and April live. Team Ground the Helicopters. Claire talking about Team Virtual VP.
That's right.
That's a good one too.
We were supposed to mention that again.
Oh, we were. It's true. Team April with the facts and tips, by the way.
Thanks,
That's good.
Keish.
Team Parenting ain't no joke. That's true. Parenting ain't no joke. That's true.
It's
You're
not.
right. And ain't no perfect parents.
Let me tell you, ain't no perfect parent.
You're gonna jack up, and when you do, it's okay.
Exactly.
They're gonna turn out okay. You know what I'm saying?
And I always feel like you can always turn it around. You know, some parents feel like, oh, my child's already in 5th grade. I've been doing this all this time. You can stop and decide we're gonna change some things, and the kid's gonna be upset about it. They're not gonna like it, but they will thank you later. So
you know, this was funny. Every time we skip a board meeting at church, the next board meeting is always twice as long. So I think that's what happened to us right now. We skipped an episode. This is our first time ever skipping, by the way, in like a year.
Right.
And now we went super long. You know what I'm
Always
saying?
Team April.
Always Team April. Also Team Parenting.
That's so sweet.
Wow. I literally got no team anything tonight. You know what I'm saying?
Like, and you said some good stuff, babe. I'll be Team John.
You know, thank you,
I'll be Team John tonight.
Madeline's Team Nixon's at least. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, see? Team all y'all.
Shan said we're amazing.
Courtney said team all
thank
y'all.
you. Team all y'all. And Andrew Francis said team Paul too.
Okay,
Yeah.
I think Paul's the winner tonight. Yes.
Shalita said team April, top teacher.
Yay, Shalita! Thanks. And Shalita, you're a great teacher as well.
Clamore told me his 4-year-old still up.
Oh.
I'm not fooling with him.
Oh, oh my goodness.
Shan said team John. He heard me. Yeah, that was nice of you,
gave you
Shan.
one.
You know what I'm saying? Good luck,
That was
man.
nice.
You know what I'm saying?
He felt sorry for you.
Exactly. Anyway, we're going to see y'all next week. We'll actually be here next week at this time. Stop pressing them buttons and you'll get your votes back, John. It wasn't my fault tonight. You know what I'm
Yay,
saying?
Elaine.
We'll see y'all next week. We'll be right here, same time. What time will we get on here? 9 o'clock?
It's kind of late now, isn't it?
You're
So
right.
you don't be. See, I'm not
April
working right
April
now.
had caffeine
so
tonight,
I was able to
so-
sleep in. I even took a nap today.
She did. That's true.
Let me do the backhand bounce for everybody.
Okay,
Oh,
no backhand bounce.
Oh,
Bye,
Hawks,
y'all.
go Hawks.
See y'all.